Welcome, everyone, to the Legendary Faith Podcast. My name is Alyssa Massey, and I'm so glad that you've joined me here today. And today is episode number 66. Your past isn't a prison, it's a promise. We need to look back on our past and reflect on the good things. That way, we can use it on our future. Yes, David in the Psalms reflected on his past many times to remember the goodness of God. And perhaps you don't know God. And if that's the case, I'm here to tell you it's time to know Him. It's time to have a peace in your heart, a peace beyond any worldly understanding. Because, friends, the world can definitely break us. But it's nice to know that we can have a hope beyond the world. And we don't want a hope of doom and sadness. And maybe your current state is, in fact, sadness and gloom. But I'm here to tell you there is more to the story. So let us not use our past as a prison. Don't let it captivate you anymore. No, use it to reflect on the good times. Maybe it was that Christmas when you got your favorite Barbie, your favorite doll, your favorite G.I. Joe. So maybe it was the time that you really had a lot of fun on that basketball team. Maybe that was your only time of joy. There is a time and a place for everything. There's a season for everything. So if your present state, if your present circumstances suck, then don't be looking back on the past, regretting things. Now's not the time. But instead, we need to use the past as a fuel to the future. And that's why I'm here to encourage you today to no longer allow you to be captivated by your past. When people go to prison, they're stuck. Maybe it's only for a time. In the same sense, in our everyday lives, sometimes we feel stuck, as if there's no way out. But we need a way out, right? A different path. And sometimes that path is narrow, and sometimes it's not so popular. We may want to be like everyone else, but that's not the way that's going to bring you to your destiny. You're going to have to fight for the best that God has for you. So it's time to break through. It's time to break those chains. We can't do that alone. On our own accord, we are stuck in a prison cell, unable to escape, except for the cruddy necessity that they may shove under the door. But you were made for more. You were made for a specific purpose. But in this life, there are many distractions that are trying to throw you off course. And so, friends, you have to focus. You have to keep it together. And we are very often, we want to sulk in our pain. We don't want to reach out. But in order to get out of that prison, you're going to need some help. You weren't meant to fight this battle alone. But first off, you have to be aware of what's going on in your life, and you need to compare it to a greater source. You can't compare it on the wide path on social media. People share the clips that they want everyone to see, but behind the doors, there's a struggle going on. It's time to break through those prison doors. So first, you need to become aware and get some people to help you and get the right sources. And then next, it's time to fight. Fight for your life. Because let's be truthful here and not try to hide behind closed doors. This life is short, and many times we waste it. And that's why I'm here to encourage you. Stop wasting your life on meaningless things. I know, but You can do it. I believe in you. You need people speaking life into your beautiful life. Yes, you can have a beautiful life. You can live beyond the pain and the sorrow that you may be currently experiencing. Maybe life for you right now is all peachy, but there's going to come a time when something comes along and it disrupts your normal flow of things. You need to get a grip, get it together, find some space in nature, find some space in your head because there's a lot of things going on in that head of yours. How could it not be when the world seems to be falling apart? But if you look through the right lens, you can see hope for the future. You can see a breakthrough no matter what you're going through. So you need to become aware and look at your surroundings, look at the people in your life. And if there's no one there to encourage you, there are many sources, there are many ways that you can find these people. But you're going to have to step one foot in front of the other, and you're going to have to get to work. And so, in order to fight, we have to be healthy body, mind, and spirit. Now, I highly recommend Jesus Christ as your source. And like I said, maybe you don't believe in that. But for me, that has been my source where I don't feel alone, even when there was no one around me, no one to understand. But there was Jesus in my life. There was someone that spoke life into my life and encouraged me, and I broke through those prison doors. Now, has it been easy? Heck no. It has not been easy, but when I am down, I always find the strength, not on my own, but I find the strength somehow to get back up and keep going. There's always something, and I call it God, Holy Spirit, but there's that something still within me urging me to keep going. I cried out to God, and maybe that's where He wants us, crying out to God. And if we're crying out to God, you better believe that He's going to save us. He will save you in your pity, and then you can be an example to someone else and you can give them hope. And that's what it's really all about. Many times in my struggle, I felt like throwing in the towel. But did I ever do it? No. I did feel at times, I felt so bad. I was on the verge of death. But you know what? God doesn't bring fear. And when I prayed and I dug deep, I got back up on my feet. Troubles, they don't just quit, and they're not going to. But what is the alternative? The alternative is to be locked up in those prison doors. And I'm here to attest that I don't want that for you. I'm here to be your encouragement today to keep on fighting through the pain, keep pushing through the pain, to reflect back on the goodness of God or reflect back on the good times. And perhaps if you don't know God, perhaps you can think, what got me out of that situation? I'm still here. Pray to God and ask Him, okay, God, if you're real, please reveal yourself to me. And He will. And that is my prayer for you, because I don't want you to stay locked up forever, because you were meant for more. I've been there. I continue to struggle, but I continue to fight. And of course, there will be regrets, but there is always hope for a better tomorrow. I seek out the people that fuel me up. I don't stay stuck around people, a group of people that's going to bring me down, because we don't have a lot of time left and we do not need to waste our lives any longer. It's never too late. Everything was planned out in your life, everything before the beginning of time. You were created in your mother's womb. God has a plan for you, and it's not to be stuck in prison. It's not to be captivated by your past mistakes. You don't look back to be stuck in your past. I want you to reflect back on the goodness and use that as fuel for the future. Let's not waste our lives anymore. Let us rejoice in the Lord and have faith for a better tomorrow. And I know that's not easy, but I also know that God has a great plan for you and that this pain or discouragement you may be facing, this prison, this hell that you think that you're in, it's not meant to be forever. To you today, and that's why I am back up on my feet and I keep going because I want to help someone else today. I want a life filled with purpose and meaning through the pain, through the struggle. I don't want to be stuck anymore. And I don't want you to be stuck anymore. So, friends, I thank you for listening or watching today. And I hope you have a very blessed day. And I'm rooting for you. It's time to break through that prison.